This is episode 7 of Survivor 44. I don't know what's about to happen in this episode because the main draw, when it came to any single trailer I've ever seen or any single thing that was ever mentioned about this show, was like, I wonder what the twist is. That's just the main question so far. I don't see point wasting time. Let's just go find out. Okay, so now I remember some stuff after watching like 1 minute of the show so far. I remember that Carolyn was the one random stray vote for, I already forgot who, but I know she was like a stray vote, whereas everyone else voted Jam Jam and Josh. So, she voted for Kane. And I was pointing out how that may just be bad for her game. So far they haven't brought it up yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens later on in the episode. There was also some talk about, I think it was Heidi who was pointing out the lovers couple between Matt and Franny. And that's starting to get underway right here, right now. Yeah. I would like to imagine that someone's gonna develop strategy, but I don't know what's gonna happen yet until this twist comes up. He's saying it's something that none of you are gonna be able to combat. I think that's what Jeff said in the last preview. So I don't know, maybe they just might do what they did the last couple times, where it's pick one of 6 boxes. If you get a skull, you die or whatever. It'd be interesting if it was a different twist, because I mean that twist alone was already kind of death, like the worst twist you could possibly run into. So I mean, I don't know if they could possibly make it any more just destructive to another player's game, but who knows, I could be wrong. I completely forgot that it was Matt who had Danny's fake idol. I thought it was Josh this entire time. They haven't been pointing attention to it for the longest freaking time, and I immediately forgot. I totally forgot that. And it's good that Matt's catching on, because so far his game hasn't been super great. And it's good that he's catching on Danny of all people, because Danny's game so far is rock solid. I remember I said that he was probably one of the front runners to win. Maybe that'll change now that Matt's at least somewhat onto him. A couple things to comment here. One, that was the weirdest commercial break I've ever seen in my life. I'm watching this on Paramount Plus, so I'm not really getting commercials, but I'm watching this, and it just kind of randomly cut the black, and I thought something was going to pop up. It just cut the black, so I imagine that's where a commercial break happened. That would have been weird to watch on live TV. Second, I have been struggling to remember who Lauren and Heidi are, because I swear since Merge, this is the most attention those two players have gotten so far. And anytime it came to the Green Tribe, it was always about Josh or Danny or Matt or Franny. Briefly, it was about Lauren and her double vote, or her vote steal. I already forgot what the hell it is. Her advantage, but after that, she kind of disappeared, and the same thing with Heidi. As a matter of fact, I think Heidi's had one confessional so far, so I don't know what's going on with that group. I finally got to see the twist. It's not a groundbreaking twist or anything like that. It's been done before, and I think the past 3 seasons so far. So we'll see what happens, but if I had to guess based off of what that next time on the last episode portion, it would be whatever team Matt and Franny are on is the team that loses. Taking bets now. And thank God I didn't actually bet, because I just realized both Matt and Franny are on opposite teams, so it doesn't really matter who wins. I'm wrong. Okay, so I know I don't really give too many detailed notes when it comes to me making these videos or anything like that. But in order to fully describe to you the insane clusterfuck that is this next tribal council that's coming up, let me just try and describe it to you as best I can. So 2 sides are basically split up, right? You got the side that's basically free from the vote tonight, which is Carson, Carolyn, Danny, Heidi, and 2 other people, Franny, and then this one other woman who actually found this advantage. I don't remember what the hell her name is, but it's that woman who has the advantage. Actually, what the hell's her name? Let me check real quick. Okay, so the immune group is Kane, Danny, Franny, Carson, Carolyn, and Heidi. Heidi's the one who found the advantage, and I already named her. But that group is immune, but Heidi just found an advantage that says the group that is going to Tribal Council, which is made up of Jam Jam, Matt, Brendan, Lauren, and Jamie. her advantage says she gets to control the one vote of the 5 that are currently at risk of elimination. Mix that in with the fact that Lauren has a vote steal advantage or like a double vote advantage of some kind. And it's like there's like 2 different votes that are like being messed around with. And I know Danny has an immunity idol, which maybe he'll play that if he felt threatened or whatever. Actually, no, Danny's not even over there. I'm already getting confused with everything. No one has an immunity idol over there, as opposed to a fake immunity idol, anyways. But basically, the vote is being messed up because, like, you got Lauren who has like a double vote of some kind, and then you got Heidi controlling the vote of whatever player she chooses. And the ones that are clearly at risk tonight are Jam Jam and Matt because they're the outsiders of the 3 alliance with Brendan, Jamie, and Lauren. And Lauren's trying to break up that 3. And you see how many factors are going on with this tribal council? And it's like, it's fun to watch in hindsight when you're not really thinking too much about what could possibly happen, but you see me thinking about what could possibly happen and I'm getting a headache, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna really too much talk about like what could possibly happen when it comes to the tribal council. There's like 50 million things going on in this tribal council, and it's too much to track all at once. What I will say is, if I had to guess, maybe Lauren goes home, but that's wishful thinking, I suppose. Only because Jam Jam and Matt are my favorites. Another thing to point out is that this is the most I've heard from Lauren and Heidi, like ever in this show. So I'm thankful this episode exists because I mean, this is the most attention they've gotten from the editing so far. Most of the time it's been Danny or Franny or Matt or Jam Jam or Carolyn or Parson. Those are the people they've been talking to the most. Like not even Brendan, who was like a kingpin back on his old tribe, isn't really getting too much attention. You know what I mean? Okay, so tribal council's done. I was wrong. It definitely wasn't Lauren, but like I said, it was wishful thinking. And considering the million possibilities that could have happened with that tribal council, yeah, I guess I could have figured that Matt would have gone home. And it's a shame Matt went home. I was rooting for him because to me he was the ultimate underdog this season. I mean, if you watch his game from beginning to end so far, it's like setback after setback after setback after setback after setback, and then he goes and falls in love, and him and his girlfriend miserably fail at hiding it. And it sucks to say, but like when you really think about it, if he had made it to the final 3, he would have been in the same category as the 3rd place finalist in Survivor 42. Like he had, unfortunately, one of the worst runs in Survivor history because like he was on multiple wrong votes for a majority of the game, and it reflected, and he never got any votes to win the game, unfortunately. And I feel like that's what have happened with Matt right here on the way he was going. As for the vote itself, I can't help but feel a little disappointed, I suppose, because I mean, like I said, there was a million ways that could have ended it, and it ended up being one of the more basic endings. You know what I mean? It's like if you had Doctor Strange come up from like Infinity War and go through like every single timeline and universe of like how that thing could have been exciting. And it's like, I just saw every single way this tribal council ending could have ended in excitement and stuff like that. Really? How many times was it boring? One. What it was is that it doesn't really matter like what kind of advantage Heidi had, because at the end of the day, Lauren's double vote literally negated it. It negated the one twist in this tribal council so far, like the one that was like the big draw. You know, it was a brand new advantage, and that double vote just completely made it pointless. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that Lauren's double vote definitely deserves the credit, because I mean, no matter what Heidi did, that vote negated it like instantaneously. Even if they tied, it still would have left the other one like out in like open water, and the rest of them are like sharks. You know what I mean? It was like it would have been a 3-3 tie, and then those 2 people are like negated from the vote off. I don't even know if they could tie it again, because like the advantages were used, and even if they were able to tie it again, it's like then it's either still Matt or Jam Jam that goes home because they're still on the minority, you know? Because then it's like a 2-1 vote. It's one of those examples where it's the advantage absolutely like destroys the momentum of the game, which is unfortunate. And that being said, I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyways. I mean, it probably would have been either Jam Jam or Matt going home the way it was going. Anyway, that's the end of episode 7. Uh, quick note before I go. I heard a rumor online that apparently Survivor is thinking about increasing its runtime to like 90 minutes or something like that. I don't know. If it does increase its runtime, I'm not really sure how I'll feel because, well, one, it sounds like it's increasing its length to like Survivor New Zealand length. It's like an hour or so. And what I'll say is, I enjoyed the second season of Survivor New Zealand. But admittedly, when it started getting too near the end of that season, because of its runtime, it started to feel like it was dragging. So it was always hard for me to like constantly keep paying attention to what was happening. You know what I mean? I have a short attention span, so, but that's just me. And that's sort of like the same problem I have with Big Brother is that it's like it's so many episodes, but it's like not a lot of things happening. You know what I mean? So I don't know how I feel about the runtime being longer. I was always happy with like this runtime so far, even if I am missing some things. But I'm always able to like watch it. That being said, when it comes to this like new version of Survivor where it's like Big Brother-ish, where sometimes twists just happens because they can, I wouldn't necessarily get tired of it because then at that point it's like, okay, well they still dedicate the same amount of time to the twists, but now there's like room for like more character development of sorts. Which admittedly, like I just said before, like I haven't seen much of either Heidi or Lauren in this one season until like now. And we're like in episode 7. You know what I mean? I suppose a longer runtime would help with that problem. Maybe no more purple edits or anything like that. But I suppose it's all speculative because one, I don't even know if that's going to happen. Again, it's a rumor. And two, I don't know what my reaction would be if it actually did happen. So that would be my thoughts on that matter. Anyway, that was the end of episode 7. I'll see you for episode 8.